Hey everybody, so we now know the tournament's over and all that stuff, and there's been this one character, Pythor. He has sort of been in and out of the most recent Ninjago. He was gone for the longest time between episode 13 and 30. So that was a really long gap without him, but he did return in episode 30. So that was pretty cool, and he's sort of been in and out every since then, because I think he was in all the episodes beyond 30, because that's when he revealed he was back, and he was different, of course, with the Devourer changing his skin and all, and yeah, and then he was in the whole starting from episode 4 to 13. He was his purple form in the Rise of the Snakes, trying to unleash the Great Devourer. And now he has been in the tournament in episode 43 and 44. Now, episode 43 and 44 are kind of his sort of, I would say, humorous sort of roles, because he's no longer really bad. He's not, I mean, the rebooted, he was bad. He was always, in a way, funny and cool. He's always been cool, but he's just kind of been like, I feel like he's been really really great in the past two, the last two episodes that he was in for the tournament. Um, because yeah. But my question here is, will he continue to have roles? Because we know that, like, Scales or all those other Anaconda, like, or did I just say that? All those other Serpentine are having roles every now and then. So will Pythor have a role? Now, I don't think, if he is to have more roles in the future, I don't think he's going to have big roles. He didn't really have a big role, honestly, in this season. Besides the last two episodes, he had a big role, but not the whole season. But what do you think? I mean, do you think that this awesome character will have more roles? I hope, because Pythor is so awesome. He's one of my favorite characters. The Overlord is also my favorite characters. I really like the Overlord as the enemy. He's pretty cool. And yeah, Pythor is up there in one of my top favorite characters, and he's pretty awesome. And I'm sure many of you can agree that Pythor is pretty awesome, because you know that Pythor is he's just awesome. Okay, he's so cool. At least probably many of our opinions, because there's probably a reason why that they brought him back for Rebooted, because Pythor was just such a good character. He is such a good character to have in the show, just like Dareth. But now Pythor is kind of like this character that's now kind of good, because at the end you saw he was helping the ninja in 43 and 44, and he kind of said, he said everyone can change. So Pythor's changed. He is good now, basically. And I really like that. But I honestly think he'll have a few roles, not big ones, of course, because they got to move on with the story and all that, with the enemies and all. But I mean, I think he's going to have a few, because he's such a character that everyone loves. He's just such a good character, and I mean, I don't see them getting rid of Pythor from the character lists. I think every now and then they always pop in the characters. Like, they pop in Crunch and Knuckle every now and then. Like in episode 35, they have them there. So, I mean, they do pop in the characters every now and then from way previous seasons and all that. And Pythor, I hope he gets popped in every now and then in the future, because he is pretty cool. He is pretty cool, man. And I really hope, because he's one of my favorite characters. And yeah. So, just will Pythor continue to have roles in the new Ninjago coming? So, I mean, honestly, what do you think? I mean, I really like this character, and I think the creators and the writers know that we really, really like this character, and I hope they brought him back for the next season coming. I mean, obviously, as I'm going to say again, I don't think he is going to have a huge role anymore, because they got to give the bigger roles in the seasons to the next enemies and all that stuff, and the ninja, of course. But I mean, I hope he has a few roles, because he is awesome. So, yeah, he is my favorite. Serpentine. He's just very cool. He's so cool. And yeah. So what do you think? Do you think Pythor will have more roles? Because I think he will, because he's just a character that many of us really like. He's just such a unique, cool character for the show. So I think, yeah, I think they'll bring him back. I think they'll bring him back. I hope there's maybe 10 episodes next season. That'd be a good amount. Maybe one of those episodes or two of them, Pythor can show up. But since he's good now, maybe he'll help him out with something in the next season. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the next season, what is going to happen next season. Next season looks really, really cool. And again, I hope Pythor's in it, because he's such a good character. Yeah. So, yeah, he's just been there since episode 4. So he's Pythor's a character that's just kind of always been there, you know, besides between 13 and 30. That was a big gap. But I mean, you know he's one of the good old originals from the original episodes from the first season of Ninjago, and rebooted now, of course. But he's from the original first season that aired. I mean, not the skeletons, but the first season, you know. Those are kind of more this is kind of like the beginning, you know. They had the skeletons and all that, but Ninjago was basically just kicking off still, because it had its skeletons, but I mean, Ninjago was really getting it was probably gaining in popularity right around when episode 4 aired, because it was just sort of starting. I mean, episode 4 was only the 6th episode they have released when that was coming out. So he's been there since basically the beginning. So he was there at the beginning. So he's such a great character, and I'm glad they kept him in, and I'm glad they brought him back, because it just kind of brings back one of these older characters from a very, very great season, from season 1. So hopefully he's in like season 5 again, which is the Ghost. So yeah, Ninjago enters its 5th season this summer, and hopefully maybe a 6th season in the beginning of 2016, probably, and then the movie in later 2016 next year. So lots of Ninjago coming, and I hope Pythor does return again, because he's so cool.